stream. It's being live streamed. Okay, cool. So that's gonna be a live stream on here. So stream. See, we'll wait like 2 more minutes. Let me see, because people add and I can accept.
No problem.
But I'm gonna post this anyways for later, so it doesn't matter. So how's it going? How's life?
It's good. Yeah, we're just traveling. I'm lucky because I've got like a couple of days off from the kids.
Yeah, I feel
They
like I
all
need an
left this
update
morning.
from everything. Like I haven't talked to you like about updates because now baby 3 is on the way. And you guys went in
Baby three's on the
Panama.
way.
You guys went to Panama, and then now you're gonna be 3 months skiing. And
Yeah.
then you're gonna go back to Panama after?
Yeah, we have to come back here.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be the permanent place that you're gonna stay for a while.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully. Not liking it as much as you thought.
Well, we never were planning on staying here full time. We came
And
down here to get our residency here
yeah.
because we travel so much.
Yeah.
And Panama lets you stay out of the country for 2 years and still keep your residency.
Yeah.
So we'll do Canada, the United States, Mexico, and maybe we'll go to Asia.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, we'll see how it goes with the new baby.
I know, because it's gonna be a
Things
whole other
change when
process.
you throw
But you
another one
guys been
in.
doing it. You've done it with Damien. So you're kind of, it's not like it's a new thing. You guys did it on the road. Wait, Damien was born in Canada though, right?
Yeah, Damien was born in Canada.
And
He
then you guys got
was
on the road.
just over a year. The-
Wait, I don't know if it's me or is my connection or is your connection a little bit spotty? A little, but that's okay. I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, the live stream would not be able to watch in here. Check some. More people. All right, let's get started. So I had a couple questions that I wanted to kind of put together that I thought. So let's just talk about you since it's going to be posted on YouTube and it's going to be just posted permanently in there. And I think we did a video like probably a year. I feel like we did a lot of videos together, but every time I look at it, it's like all a year and a half away from like it's been a while. You know what I mean? Like it's always an update, but I
It's
feel
been a
like
while.
it's like no, it's been a long time because last time we talked, you were like, oh, we did over 1 million, or like you were like closer to 2 millions, but then like now it's a whole different story because like I think you guys then like over maybe like 5 mil now, like from the beginning, right? Maybe I don't know, because I want
Yeah,
that stuff like that from the very beginning. I think 2019 was you started in 2019. I remember we met in 2019, right?
yeah, that
So we
sounds
met in
right.
2019. You were a tandem instructor in Canada,
Yeah.
Vancouver, right? Were you in Vancouver?
I was in Montreal.
Montreal. I'm kidding. Okay. And I remember because you were like, oh, I'm just tired of doing this over, but you were doing it for 10 years. So you were tired of it, I think. And then,
Yeah.
so that's what you were doing. And then I remember you were testing a lot of products and you were like, oh, this is not all working. And I'm just so sick of it. Right. And then, because I remember even talking to Dom, his wife, and then she was like, yeah, he's been working like 24/7. He doesn't even leave. Like, he's just like, in the basement. I think that's the image that I have because I've never been there, but that's what she told me, and I'm like, I think that's where you were. And I'm like, okay, there's a room probably somewhere in the basement that you're working, right?
There was.
That's like what the
Yeah.
image that I have that you were working, that you were testing a lot of products, and in those days you were
Yeah.
like, I think it was just on like well Facebook and stuff, and then you were like ripping up like other contents, and then I think that's like a life change, like game changer is like creating your own stuff. That's like what changed it for you. And that's what I always tell
Yeah.
people to like change. If you really want to scale something really big and like really get it going, is creating your own content and like customize it. First of all, it makes it harder for other people to steal it. You're the first person who's putting it out there, so you're going to make the most money and all that stuff. So I have a couple questions. The first question that I had for you that I want to kind of like, I want to summarize it properly so like we don't drag this too far is what would you say like your absolute beginner tip for people that are getting started, like because I know there's people going to be watching this. Actually, most people that are going to be watching these videos are going to be people that have been testing. Let's say it's been 6 months, 7 months, and they haven't got the results you were looking, because you've been there, you were probably testing for a year, and you were like, oh, what the hell, is this real, and then people get discouraged after a while, but some people don't. And then you tell me when you were there, because I want to go from the beginner. Because most people that know what they're doing, they're not going to be watching these videos, right? These videos are people for that
Yeah.
absolute beginner. I'm not saying that people don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, but they haven't found that winning product that makes them a lot of money yet. What would you say the absolute
Yeah.
beginner? They're getting started, they've tested products or they've been testing, they don't see results. What would you say? Like what would you tell them?
Oh man, there's so much to say. I think that like really what sets you apart is just the determination. Like I was going to win. There was no second
Mhm.
options. It was like I would go work as a tandem instructor on the weekends to make money to pay for my ads.
Yeah.
Like I had no money, like that's where I was getting my money. And like I would drive 2.5 hours to the skydiving center. I would sleep there for the weekend. I had a newborn. Isabella was my youngest at that time. And I was just like running ads out of all the money that I had made. That was it. I was going to win. And you're right, I had like tested a whole bunch of stuff. I tried print on demand. I had a supplement product that wasn't working. I tested like so much stuff. Yeah. And it's really just like keep going, getting yourself around people that are doing it, that are winning, because you see that initially I would see people winning and seeing like huge numbers, and I'm like, this is a load of crap. Those guys are like faking it. Refresh your screen. Come on, buddy, refresh your screen. This is like
No,
fake,
right?
big time. Yeah, I thought it was fake. I didn't believe that it was actually possible to make that kind of money in a day by yourself selling stuff online. But then being around, like talking with you, I talked with you a lot. We
Yeah.
talked a lot. I was skydiving, you were beginning to skydive,
Yeah.
and like you had a ton of questions for me, and I had a ton of questions for you. Um, so that was like a big thing, was really getting around people that are winning and having confidence in yourself. You can test as many products as you can, and some people test fewer than you and win. And you just, if you have that determination to keep going, you're gonna have to do something to make money in life.
Yeah.
Like you have to do something. Like I worked the oil rigs. That was 12 hours a day at
Yeah.
work. Plus 2 hours of commute. You know, it's huge days. I would much rather keep trying until I win in this. And now, like, my life is great. I work a couple hours a day and make way more money than I was making before. So yeah, I think the determination. If you're talking about specifically what can you do in drop shipping, um, I think that definitely running your own creatives is a massive one. Like it
Huge.
just is a game changer. Even if you suck at making videos and you're shy and all that stuff, like I've had videos with me on it that's like a few million views.
Yeah.
My recent product, I was just doing a post on TikTok, just me using the product that hit like almost 4 million views, no ad spend. So it's really like you just have to get over that fear and have determination to win. And yeah, make your own videos, I think, is big. If you don't have the money, you can play the game of Amazon and buy the product on Amazon and then return it. It kind of sucks, but we all start out somewhere. And I look back, I've probably done that, but now I support all my friends' businesses. Like I have the money to buy their products even if I don't need it.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Oh,
so yeah.
absolutely. And tell people how much you made in the last week with the Black Friday, just so people know like what we're talking about. Now that it's been years. So now it's
Black Friday. This is our best Black Friday. This is our best Black Friday. Friday, I did 40,000 in sales. And then from Friday to Monday, I did 108,000
there you go.
in sales.
Just so people
Yeah.
know what we're talking about. Because like it's been years now since you got started. And after, like the thing is once you get started and you see the money, it becomes just Another, I know, as weird as it sounds, it just becomes another day. Like you're like, oh,
It's
okay,
another day. I
I'm
most of the
cool,
time
yeah.
I actually don't even look.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
bad. I
I
like don't
know.
even look at the reports.
And but like I
Yeah,
get like people like after a while like it's just not like you said like you're like in the beginning you're like oh it's BS like people are not making that much money or like this that and I just kind of want to show people how what's real and what it takes time but like you said it
takes
if
time.
you really want to win you'll win and then it was the same thing with me I was working 12 hours a day and I was spending on ads when I was working at LA Fitness same thing like and everybody goes through the same thing. People that are here, like I know Austin is in this call, and I know like he's been very consistent too. So it's like even if you're like at that point that you're like eventually if you're consistent enough and you're putting the work in, you'll see results. It might take
Yeah,
longer, but you'll see results.
you have to analyze yourself as well. Like, for example, I've done 10 years of skydiving. I got pretty good at skydiving, but I watched a lot of footage of myself skydiving. What was I doing wrong? I worked in the tunnel. I would like practice. I would watch other people. How can I emulate what they're doing? And that definitely sped me up compared
Yeah.
to how other people were in the same level as me at the beginning. And then I would advance faster than them because I was like analyzing myself, like, and this is definitely something that you can do with your ads. What went wrong? Why did this not work?
Yeah.
If you're not questioning what's happened in the past, then
Yeah.
how are you going to get better? It's like an
Absolutely.
exam for yourself, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
And then do you feel like most people, a lot of people that get started, they just in the mindset of making quick cash, in their head that they're like, oh, I'm just gonna put it out there. And they think it's just easy to make that quick cash and they don't really put the effort. They look at it as like, I don't know, it's just the way that it's been advertised, the business.
yeah,
But
big time.
obviously you can make money. You can make a lot of money. You've done it. I think I kind of throwing the numbers out there, but I think it's about 5 millions at this point.
Yeah.
But obviously it's very profitable business. But people also got to realize that it takes time and effort, and you got to be 100% in it with the right mindset to be able to win.
Yeah. Well, what thing in life worth winning
Mm.
actually takes no effort?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
There's
There's nothing.
nothing, anything, your relationship,
There's
anything
nothing.
you want to learn, you
Right?
want to learn a new language, anything you want to learn. And then
Yeah.
you just got to decide what is it that you want to put your effort into. Like making money is another thing that you got to get good at.
Yeah, I think that if you look at it just for a money perspective, I definitely looked at it for a money perspective in the beginning, but now I look at it as like my lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
I would never lose this. I
Yeah.
know how to advertise. A
Yeah.
lot of it is learning how to advertise, and now I can sell like anything.
Anything.
So I'll
Yeah.
never have to go back to the man. Please give me a job.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's a
So
skill that
now, like initially, yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, I need to make money. Now I'm like, oh, I'll never have to worry about that again in my life.
it's a
So
skill that you develop, right?
yeah, yeah,
Even if you lost it all, you know now how to make it. There's no
yeah,
worry in your head. Like in my mind, I'm like, I'm not worried even about losing the money because like now it's easier. It's when you have money, it's also easier to lose it. That's another thing because like you
for
make so
sure.
much bad investments, but you're not worried about losing it because you know you're gonna make it again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know how to make it.
What would you say for the absolute beginner? Because a lot of people always ask me, how much money should I have aside to get started? That's like one of the things people ask me all the time. Like, hey, how much money should I have? How much money should I have? Because a lot of people, again, advertise, hey, start Shopify with zero money or this. How much would you say people should put aside before getting started?
Um, hmm. Oh man, I haven't done this number for a while. It's hard to say depending on your lifestyle. Like some people, they can stop drinking alcohol and they've saved enough money to actually build $1 million business.
Right. That's what I
So
tell people, actually. I'm like, stop
like
going
it's so
out. Literally stop going out and put it in your business. Literally, that's all
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Like to start out, I mean, I would say you need a couple $100 a day
Yeah,
to really start out,
that's
So if you can like make that happen, let's say you need like $100 a day for 6 months. It doesn't need to be all at once. Like I don't have
yeah,
all this money at once, but if I look at it like on a daily basis, because you're running ads on a daily basis, I
yeah,
think that about $100 a day
yeah,
is what you really need. So maybe somebody stops drinking alcohol for 6 months.
yeah.
That's like could be $20 or $30 worth of alcohol a day. And now you've got, you know, 3 months worth of learning how to build your business. If you
Yeah.
keep that process up, you've just kind of cycled that money back into building your
Yeah.
business. So
And
yeah,
yeah, Scott says one drink
that's one drink.
on the weekend. No,
Yeah,
people spend like that's $20-$30 a drink. Like if you live in New York, LA, like people places are expensive. Going out on a weekend, it could be $200-$300 a weekend. So that could be a lot of money that actually, if they
yeah.
stop doing it,
That's like
yeah,
$1 million business.
yeah. And then you can test the
Yeah.
product with 50 to
Google search by
$100.
image.
What's that?
Tu cherches Google search by image.
Wait, what is it? Sorry, Luca, I didn't hear you.
No, I think he was talking to somebody else.
Oh, was he?
It's okay.
Does it look like okay?
Um,
No, it's
yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think that's how I would put it. It's on a daily basis because because it's really you're spending money on a daily basis. So
Yeah.
yeah, about $100 a day.
Okay, so let's talk about
And then some people are quicker. Like some people are really good.
yeah.
Some people are really good at finding products. Like some people are shoppers and they're like, oh, this is going to take off big time. And then other people like, I'm not a shopper. You
Yeah.
know, like initially it was hard for me to find products because I didn't, and I was never on the computer. I worked outside most of my life. You know, I didn't shop. So I didn't really know, hey, this could be a trendy product. You know, I had to learn that skill
Yeah.
by listening to comments on my ads.
Yeah. Well, this is also a proof that a lot of people are like, oh, but I don't have any skill. I don't know how to use the computer. I don't know how to build the website. Like you didn't do any of that. You were like your whole life, you were outside doing outside stuff. So that was the first time getting in the, and then using WordPress just because, and I think in the beginning, I mean, now it works great, but in the beginning, I think you were using WordPress because it was cheaper than Shopify. That's what it was. You didn't want to spend $20 on the processing fee. That's funny. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like it's the same because people always ask, oh, what's the difference? I'm like it's just the same. It's just a different platform. It just looks different a little bit. Yeah. So you
I have more control over mine, but yeah.
Yeah, you have a little
it doesn't matter. It's the same.
You do have more control. I do agree that you have more control with WordPress. I hear that a lot. So let's just kind of recap from your timeline. 2019, you had a job and then we talked about we kind of developed like I gave you like a little bit of a help with one product and then you scaled that one to $500,000. Remember, it's kind of crazy going back to the timeline because that was a time that you were like, whoa, this is working. That was crazy. Like that was the craziest thing to you at the time. You're like, oh, 500,000. That's like insane.
My first $1,000 day.
Yeah. I remember. And then you were like, oh, I'm gonna like based on that, I'm gonna build something else. And then you started so that's what happens also with a lot of people, guys, is that once you find a niche, you can based on what's working, you can figure out what's working around it. Because like let's say the ads are working, you create something similar to it. You create it just works like that. Like with some of our products right now is that one creative that is working, I just duplicate the same concept over and over and over and over again, and it usually works. And that's like usually how it works with everybody too. Because like you kind of figure out, oh, this is getting 4 million views. I'm going to create the same thing, but maybe different people, maybe a little bit different, you know, maybe a little bit like you just tweak it a little bit, but you just recreate it, you know? So you did 500,000. It was like,
it's the same way.
Yeah. What was it? 20%, 30% profit?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there.
Okay.
23 or 25%.
So that's a good amount of money. Let's say, what was it, $150,000? It's pretty good. And then, is that what it is? Yeah. And then, yeah, it's good. So that's good. That's a good amount of money, you know, going from like getting hourly to like.
And that was US. Like I was up in Canada.
Oh yeah, you always said that
like
too.
180,000.
You always, I remember you were like, that's US money. That's US money because you were in Canada. And now I realize going to Canada, I'm like, oh, yeah, US money is so much more than Canada money.
Yeah, exactly. I know if I converted it for Canadian, I did like 200,000 almost over Black Friday, which is crazy.
That's insane. That's insane. Like your mind is like, for whoever is watching this, like these are the results you can get eventually with selling your own products. Then you develop the product based on that product, just because I know about it. And then you scale that one to 2 million, almost 3 million.
Yeah, almost 3 million. Yeah.
Okay. And then now, based on that one, you developed another product that was similar to that one. And then that one.
Yeah.
So these are all drop shipping,
Yeah,
guys.
because I was looking at like I was reading all the comments on my ads.
Yeah, what people want. So guys, this is something that you kind of pay attention. These are all drop shipping, but you can brand your own drop shipping stuff. So this is something that I recommend everybody does because then nobody can copy it as easily. And whenever you work with a supplier, they can easily like brand, like any supplier you work with, you'd be like, hey, can you do this for me? They go talk to a manufacturer. They're like, oh yeah, this is going to cost this much. We can do this for you. You know, a lot of times if they're a good supplier and like they know if they have the connect, they actually can do all that. They can tweak a lot of stuff. Okay, so and then based on that, you develop that, and then with the new product now you've done over how much?
Yeah. So, yeah, in this new product, I've done 1.3
Yeah.
since middle of
Okay.
July.
So
Yeah.
that's 3, 4, 5. So over 5 million. So that's like that's my calc because I kept like throwing numbers out there. So just you guys know he's done over like five, let's say 20%, like I don't know, 20% profit. So that would be like 1.5, 1.6, maybe 2 million, something. And then last one, you're not really running a lot of ads. He's doing a lot of organic stuff as well, which is like way more profit than the other products. So just keep that in mind. These are the numbers, you guys. Like eventually when you're getting it going, these are numbers you will see. So it takes a lot of time and effort, obviously, in the beginning, but right now is like you're traveling with your whole family. You're going to all these places, you're doing all these things. You have the freedom that you want, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely have the freedom to do what I want.
All right, cool. So I'm just gonna wrap it up because I don't want to make the call too long, but let's see if you have any last words for people that you want people to know, like anything that you think that you want to add to, because I write my questions. I didn't want to mumble on this call. So I wanted to make it a 30-minute, maximum 30 minutes, but whatever you want to throw it in there. It's okay that it's a little choppy, but I can hear you. That's like,
Yeah, I think that like if I was to go back to the beginning, um I would probably want to not shoot so high initially because it's discouraging.
yeah,
Like you do see these people that are making, like I make pretty good money now. But that wasn't the case at the beginning. I was happy to make like $100 extra a
yeah,
day. That was really cool, like to start off with, to make money when I was sleeping. Those were like milestones that people don't really talk about. Hey, I woke up in the morning and I made like $250. That
yeah,
was a big milestone because that was usually something I would have to go to a job to do,
yeah,
right? Like in skydiving, I made pretty good money. I had $1,000 profit days skydiving. It was decent money, but that was a lot of work. Like I was
yeah.
tired. I wasn't, hanging out with
I have to do
whoever
like
I
10
wanted
jumps,
to.
11 jumps, right? For that.
Oh yeah, 20 jumps. No, like they were busy days.
Yeah.
We were tired at the end. It was a great job. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather do that than work in carpentry or on the oil rigs. Um, but it wasn't the freedom. I had to show up at that job. I didn't make money when I wasn't there. And that
Yeah.
was, like that's a milestone that people overlook, which is huge. Like it's huge to
Yeah.
make money while you're sleeping. To make
Absolutely.
money, our first biggest day, the biggest day that we had when we started drop shipping, we were actually moving. I was
Yeah.
driving a moving van. It was 3 hours. I drove a U-Haul and I had no internet. And when I got there to my next location, set up my internet, set up everything, looked at my stuff. I'm like, holy smokes, this is the biggest day we've ever had. And we literally were not even, we were driving, we were doing what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
those are milestones that, are huge. And if you can get to just that level, that's like a huge improvement in life. And yeah, I think people are like, oh, I want to make $1 million. No, it's not just about that. Like you can be rich and have a crappy life, or you can, enjoy your life. That's obviously what we try to do.
Of course.
And yeah, I think that don't shoot so big and then get discouraged would be something that I would say to people that are starting out. And then you've got to be persistent. Like imagine yourself as going to university. That's like a 4-year thing. Basic basic degree is 4 years. If you want something more, then it could be up to 10 years in school.
Yeah.
You're going to make more money doing this after 4 years if you keep to it like you would if you were going to school than anybody that's coming out of school.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, for
Um,
sure.
and way more freedom in life.
Oh, way more freedom for sure. And another thing that is just to keep in mind, you said like, do you feel like once you get to 100,000, let's say if you're making 100,000, that's, I think to me is the hardest part, because after that, you know, the basics of making money. And then after that is just the consistency of doing it. The hardest part is getting to 100,000. The rest is just doing whatever that was working. You just keep doing it. The thing is, people get lazy once they make money. The thing is, people make money and they get lazy. I see it all the time. People find winning products, they make good money, they get really lazy. They don't do it anymore. They just like, they make some money and they get lazy. They don't have the hustle anymore. They're not trying to scale the product. They just like get very comfortable. And then they forget that they need to still work, you know, then you still need to make creative. And then they still slowly run out of money, and they're like, oh my God, I need to figure this out again. And I need to figure this again, you know. And then I think that's when people fall off sometimes. But the basics are just, I think the hardest part is 100,000. And then after that, you just have to repeat whatever was working to get to like, there's not much of a difference from 0 to 100,000 to 100,000 to like 10 million, I feel like.
Yeah, it's the same process.
Yeah,
it's just a bit more work to
it's just a little bit more work.
But yeah, you're right. I definitely feel sometimes that I've kind of like leaning back on my laurels. But yeah, like right now I have a product that a lot of other people want to sell, and I'm exclusive. I'm the only person that sells it. So if I don't meet certain quotas, then I'm going to lose what I've got. So I definitely have, and that's my bread and butter for my family and for our lifestyle. So yeah, I can't I can't just relax.
Yeah,
you know, when you ever relax in life, like there's always something to do. I find
you have the motivation because you have 3 kids. You're like, oh, I literally can't relax. Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the orthodontist and be like, how much for a set of braces for these kids?
Yeah.
You're gonna get your butt back to work real quick.
Yeah. Get back to work real quick. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I feel like when you're by yourself, it's just like, it's a little bit different. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for making the time. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube for anybody that want to join our group coaching calls or any of our mastermind. Feel free to message me on Instagram. I put all the handles down below. You can just message me group coaching call and I'll send you all the information. And I hope you guys enjoyed this interview, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Nice chatting with you.